Mistakes, sometimes they're the best recipe. Imagine an apple tart flipped upside down, mistakenly, in panic. Picture a burrito falling into hot oil, completely by accident. These mistakes became icons worldwide. 2 accidents, 2 classics, 2 unforgettable flavors. In our previous episode, we told how croissant and beef Wellington were born from war victories. But culinary history isn't written only by wars. Sometimes the greatest flavors are born from the smallest mistakes. Forgetfulness transforms into miracle, a slip of the tongue into an icon. In this video, we'll see the gifts kitchen accidents have given to history. Tarte Tatin, an upside-down apple tart, France's most famous dessert. Chimichanga, a deep-fried burrito, a staple of Tex-Mex cuisine. Both were born from unexpected mistakes. 2 words. 2 dishes. 2 stories. Our story reaches back to the late 1880s in the small town of La Motte-Beuvrin in France's Loire Valley. This quiet town was located between Paris and Orleans and was a popular stopping point for hunters. In the town center stood a modest hotel called Hotel Tatin. The hotel was run by 2 sisters, Stéphanie Tatin and Caroline Tatin. Stéphanie worked in the kitchen, Caroline hosted the guests. The 2 sisters had taken over the hotel after their parents' death. Stéphanie was a talented cook and her apple tart was so famous that customers would request this dessert for years. When hunting season began, the hotel would overflow. The kitchen was in great commotion. Stéphanie would prepare tarts, stews, and sauces from morning to evening. Exhaustion was inevitable. According to legend, during a busy hunting season one day, Stéphanie was preparing apple tart in the kitchen. Orders were plentiful, time was scarce, pressure was high. She peeled her apples, sliced them, and skillfully caramelized them in butter and sugar. The apples turned a beautiful golden brown in the pot, the sweet caramel scent filled the entire kitchen. But then the big mistake happened. After placing her caramelized apples in the pan, Stéphanie forgot to add the pastry. Exhaustion, haste, carelessness, all came together. The apples began to burn from caramelization. Stéphanie panicked. Customers were waiting, time pressure was enormous, there was no time for new apples. What would she do? Stéphanie made a bold move. She covered the apples with pastry on top instead of putting it on the bottom as usual. She pressed it down and put it in the oven. The tart baked. But how would she serve it? The pastry was on top, not on the bottom, this was normal. Stéphanie made her second bold move, she flipped the tart onto a plate. The pastry came to the bottom, the apples to the top. The result was astonishing. The caramelized apples had formed a shiny, sticky, golden brown layer. The rich, deep, slightly burnt taste created by the melting butter and sugar was very different from the apple tarts of that time. Stéphanie brought the tart to the customers, with some worry, with some hope. The customers took the first bite. Silence. Then eyes widened, eyebrows raised. Magnificent. I've never tasted anything like this. The contrast of caramel with apples, the richness eaten with pastry, everything was in perfect balance. The customers wanted more. The mistake became the hotel's most popular dessert. The Tatin sisters' tart quickly became famous in the town. Customers began coming for this dessert. However, Stéphanie never mentioned the mistake. Its fame exceeded La Motte-Beuvrin. In the early 1900s, the owner of Paris's most famous restaurants, Maxim's, came to town. He tasted the Tatin tart and was amazed. He had never tasted such a tart, the caramel was deep, the apples perfectly caramelized. He insistently requested the recipe. Stéphanie didn't want to give it at first, this was the hotel's secret. But she was convinced. The recipe moved to Paris. Tarte de Demoiselles Tatin, the Tatin ladies' tart, was added to Maxim's menu. Shortened to Tarte Tatin. Etymology: the word tart means tart in French and comes from the Latin root torta. Tatin is the sister's surname. The dish's name honors its creators, or more precisely, immortalizes the accident. Stéphanie's forgetfulness forever wrote the family name into culinary history. Tarte Tatin became one of the classics of French cuisine in the 20th century. Mistake transformed into mastery. Tarte Tatin showed us how a moment of haste transformed into a flavor miracle. Kitchen accidents aren't limited to forgetfulness alone. Sometimes a slip of the tongue also creates a dish. If a French classic was born by being flipped upside down, a Mexican-American classic was born by falling into hot oil. Now we're looking at chimichanga, the delicious mistake born from accidentally frying a burrito that takes us to Arizona. Our story reaches to the city of Tucson, Arizona in the 1950s. Tucson was a vibrant city located near the Mexican border, on the hot edge of the Sonora Desert. The Mexican-American population was dense, Tex-Mex cuisine could be found on every corner. In the heart of the city was a restaurant called El Charro Café. It was founded by Monica Flynn in 1922. Monica was a talented chef and entrepreneur. The restaurant was one of Tucson's oldest Mexican restaurants. Monica's burritos and tacos were famous. According to legend, and this story is the official account of the El Charro family, one day in the 1950s, Monica was working in the kitchen. Busy lunch service. Monica prepared a burrito, tortilla, meat, beans, cheese. The burrito was wrapped, ready. As she was carrying the burrito, she stumbled. It fell from her hand. The deep fryer in the corner was open, hot oil was bubbling. The burrito fell directly into the oil. Monica was shocked. Expensive ingredients would be wasted, a customer would be waiting. And in the kitchen were her young nieces and nephews, children were playing. When Monica saw the burrito fall into the oil, she wanted to angrily say a Spanish curse, Chingada. In Spanish, a strong, vulgar curse, meaning, damn it. But just as Monica was about to say, Chingada, she remembered the children. Her nieces and nephews were nearby, small, innocent children. Monica didn't want to curse in front of the children. She cut the word off midstream. Instead, she spontaneously changed the word, chimichanga. Etymology, the exact origin of the word is disputed. The most widely accepted, Monica's censoring of the Chingada curse in front of the children. Chimichanga, a meaningless but fun word. Monica took the burrito out of the oil, carefully, still skeptically. The outside was golden yellow, crispy. Monica cut it, tasted it. She was amazed. The oil had made the tortilla perfectly crispy, the meat and cheese were hot and delicious. It was very different from a normal burrito. Monica decided to add the accident to the menu. The name, chimichanga. A combination of slip of the tongue and accident. These two kitchen accidents show that history's greatest flavors sometimes emerge from the smallest mistakes. Tarte Tatin comes from the French tarte and the Tatin sisters' surname. In the 1880s in Lamothe-Beuvron, it was born when Stéphanie forgot the pastry after caramelizing the apples and in panic covered them on top and flipped it upside down. Forgetfulness transformed into miracle. Chimichanga is the censored version of the Spanish curse, Chingada. In the 1950s in Tucson, it was born when Monica dropped the burrito into hot oil and said, chimichanga, to avoid cursing in front of her nieces and nephews. A slip of the tongue transformed into a Tex-Mex icon. Two mistakes, two classics, two legends. Tarte Tatin was born from forgetfulness, chimichanga from a slip of the tongue. One is French elegance, the other Tex-Mex boldness. But both show us the same thing, in the kitchen, perfection is sometimes the mistake itself. Stéphanie's hectic day and Monica's unlucky moment forever changed culinary history. Remember, the origin stories of foods are far more accidental and mistaken than their flavors. In our next video, we'll focus on etymological secrets where flavors were born from their own names. Words hide their origins, names whisper history. Two words. Two dishes. Two stories.